These are 20 of the worst takeoff fails. In this video we've got engine failures, bird strikes, fires and more. First up is this Boeing 757 that was taking off from Spain when the right-hand engine suffered repeated compressor stalls, causing flames to shoot out of it. The plane was forced to divert to a nearby airport and landed safely. This Airbus A330 suffered an engine failure, forcing it to abort its takeoff. This MD-11 struck a large flock of birds during takeoff. The crew was forced to return to the airport and landed without further issues. This Boeing 787 struck the tail of an Airbus A321 in Vietnam, both preparing for takeoff. Vietnam Airlines suspended the 4 pilots pending investigation. One of the wheels of this Airbus A350 fell off as the landing gear was being retracted. The flight continued for a safe and uneventful landing in London, and no one was injured on the ground in Las Vegas. This Delta Boeing 767 suffered an engine fire after taking off from Los Angeles.
Oh, look at that! Whoa! Was that a compressor stall? What's going on? Whoa! Whoa, hang on. That's not good. That's not good, guys. I'm turning up ATC, I don't hear anything.
The crew declared an emergency and returned immediately for an emergency landing. Upon landing, fire crews confirmed the fire had been extinguished with no injuries reported. This Lufthansa Airbus A320 suffered an engine failure during takeoff. The plane was going too fast to abort the takeoff, but immediately returned for an emergency landing. Airport emergency services were quick to respond, and luckily no one was injured. This Airbus A330 was taking off from Manchester when its right engine failed with explosive force. Pilots quickly aborted the takeoff and brought the aircraft to an emergency stop on the runway. Inspection revealed that a turbine blade had attached. After a sudden wind gust, this Falcon 2000 touched its wing to the runway. pilots decided to continue the flight. This Boeing 787 was taking off from Sydney, bound for Thailand, when one of its tires burst. With its landing gear still extended, the plane had to dump fuel to reduce its weight for an emergency return. One hour and 24 minutes after takeoff, the plane landed safely. This F-15 suffered an afterburner blowout. This Airbus A330 struck multiple birds shortly after departure from Amsterdam. Despite that, the plane continued its flight to New York. This ATR-72 suffered an engine issue while taking off from Birmingham, forcing the crew to shut down one of the plane's two engines and return for an emergency landing. This Cessna 182 lining up for takeoff flipped over after getting hit by a strong gust of wind.
Tower, good morning, United 2604, run the visual for 26 left. 2604, Las Vegas Tower, 16026, gust 30, runway 26 left, clear to land.
3362, roll it out the Yankee, hold short on 19 left on Bravo. 753 on November, crash right.
This happened in Las Vegas, and luckily no one was injured. This Boeing 777 took off from New York Airport, heading for Tokyo, but the crew was unable to retract the landing gear. After reporting a hydraulic problem, the aircraft had to dump fuel to reduce its weight for an emergency return. The aircraft returned safely about 1 hour after takeoff. While taking off from Salvador Airport, this Airbus A320 suffered a bird strike. Despite that, it continued to its destination. This Embraer 175 suffered an engine issue during takeoff, forcing it to abort and return to the gate.
We'll let you know, Shell, 6175.
This Piper PA-18 Super Cub struggling to take off in strong winds. This Aerosucre Boeing 737 pilot made an unusually steep turn after taking off, steep enough to trigger a bank angle warning.
Thumbs up.
Bank angle.
This Airbus A220 rejected its takeoff 3 times, allegedly due to engine issues.
E2 Embraer in the background. Oh no, wait. Right, so they are aborting their takeoff.
After 3 failed attempts, the plane taxied back to the gate. And those are just some of the takeoff fails from the series. You can go watch more on my channel.